So I think this really is the story. You know, if you want to kind of dive into that a little bit of just what it meant for you to make wine in this country from a native grape.
It is a beautiful sacrifice. Result will come. Working hard pays back.
So you had to kind of take a macro and look at the whole country, you know, the grapes that are from here, ones that I'd never even heard of, Kalmet, Ceruja, name some others.
Sheshibard, Serin, Dedin, Pules, Vlosh. There are many. There are a lot.
So and
there are many other ecotypes.
And were they, you know, people maybe weren't saying, "Hey, we've got these grapes," but so you had to kind of be searching around and traveling. You probably put a lot of miles on your car, and going into villages and saying, "I'm interested in autochthonous grapes." And what were people's reactions? What were they doing with them? Did you ask your dad for advice? I mean,
I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll be honest with that. I don't want to tell you beautiful stories, even though this is a beautiful story. First of all, they see if you want to buy it or not.
Okay, very practical.
Yeah, they're very practical. And they're like, why are you looking for this grape? I'm talking about the deepest villages that I go to harvest Ceruja. The Ceruja is the storyteller wine that we have here. And they're like, you're coming from Tirana for Ceruja? I'm like, yes. Why do you need that? Yeah, it's good. And then they started, they're first shocked from the fact that someone is looking for their grapes, but then they give it to the first supper and they're shocked. Then they started making marketing there, this is the best one and stuff like that. You know?
So they go from being like not under, well, like saying, why are you here, to like, well, I have the best, so here's the top dollar you have to pay.
Okay, you're interested? Okay, this is the best one and so on. And, but I know it from analyzers, from my experiment, that I saw the wine of Ceruja and everything, so I don't need their review for Ceruja. I already know. They just have to have the first material, the grape.
Reggie, pass the bottle, the Ceruja bottle. No, the wine.
No.
So I think this really is the story. You know, if you want to kind of dive into that a little bit of just what it meant for you to make wine in this country from a native grape.
It is a beautiful sacrifice. Why I say a beautiful sacrifice? Because harvesting this grape is already a sacrifice, because you have to go all over the different villages, in every family, but inside the family, inside the home.
Which region of Albania?
Mat, Borel.
And so
Close is exactly the close is called the area that it has some like 5 to 6 different villages.
Është varietet synanthropic, afër njeriut. Synanthropic.
Synanthropic is a variety that stays
synanthropic variety.
Synanthropic variety, that means that stays near the human being.
So this area is in like northern Albania?
Northern domestic.
North.
Super northern, right?
Not super north, but it's north.
Okay.
It's not the northest part of Albania. So this was, the villagers say that this was imported from Istanbul.
Amazing.
So,
they say we don't have information, we don't have genetically similarities with other varieties at the moment. We have to go deeper by analyzing it. And this plant is a plant that grows wild. Okay? The grows wild mean that you just plant it there. Excuse me.
And it was in people's like backyards on paragolas, right? I mean, it was not.
They use it for shadow. For example, like this shadow we are here.
Yes.
There in this area is full of grapes.
Sure.
We have it full of apples, but full of apples you can find everywhere. And you just plant it there. Leave it there, and it will grow like a Spartan. Okay, it doesn't ask for help, doesn't ask for anything. No phylloxera is there showed around. And the plants that I harvest, the vines, that I harvest the grape, they are 8 years old, 7 years old, 100 years old, and they have 100 kilos of grape, one vine.
One vine, 100 kilos.
26% of sugar. I mean, you can open all the books of viticulture, you will not find these parameters. It's really, really Spartan, I call it. And
you're working with, you know, how many families? And you gave
there are some like 80 families, probably 5 villages.
And how many tons? do you get?
Well, last year I suffered a lot. I made my maximum just 2 tons.
And how long did it take you to get all those
2 tons, 4 days. And we made a documentary as well there. And the difference is, I'll make you the difference for the people that doesn't know what it means to grow wild. We have a system of viticulture,
Yes.
a line like this one
Sure.
here, okay, that you just go there and just cut, put in the cases and finish. You go with the line, you work like that. This one, you have to go to the to the house. You have the vines all over the trees, and if the people are old, those 2 old couple will go there by the stairs and harvest one up and one down. I used to film it a long time ago, and each family you have to go in the morning. You tell them, just harvest everything. I'll buy what you have. Okay? Then you go for mid-lunch. I wouldn't say lunch. You go at 11, 12, and they're like, okay, we're making the pouch. You're coming with us. You'll drink in our raki. We'll drink our food. I said, I have 20
Trying to
houses
work.
to no, you have to come because you are the son of the professor. Because my father used to work there a long time ago, and
So it's a huge commitment. You have to become part of.
It's a storyteller wine.
Yeah. So you have to
It's
go into the
difficult to
house.
explain it because it has surprises, it has difficulties, it has beautiful nature, it has good food, it has bad people, good people, economy, it has everything in.
Kam njohur këtë
harvest.
varietet 40 vjet përpara.
My father used to knew this variety 40 years ago, when
Wow.
he
Më
used-
ka bërë një përshtypje të jashtëzakonshme.
and he was really impressed by the
Mbeti në
parameters.
memorie për të zbërthyer sot.
It remained in subliminal memory somehow.
So when you found it, it was.
When I found it, it was like, oh yes, I know about this grape.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I know.
Dhe
It was
kur lexoj një libër tuaj, Kalifornisë,
when
për
he read the
verën,
book of California of winemaking.
fjalia e parë ishte kjo filozofia e Kalifornisë është barbekua.
And the philosophy of California is the barbecue.
Kjo verë e bardhë,
Uh-huh.
This white wine,
nuk është për peshk dhe për pul, po do misht fort. Kjo është shumë e fort.
this is strong, a full body wine that probably you can drink with meat as well.
Yeah.
Not just with fish.
Well, and so the idea of the wolf on it being the wild one, is that kind
The
of
wolf symbolizes our surname because Uka
Ah,
in Albanian to the wolf we say Uyku. Uku Uka. So our surname came from the wolf, and it symbolizes the wildness as well because being a wild grape. So it has double meaning
Sure.
the wolf.
and
Dhe do shtoj diçka interesante shumë, që e kam
Yeah,
parë në
something?
Explorer. Në Explorer.
and when I
Themel-
oh, sorry. Please.
Themelusit e bujqësisë parë,
The one
sipas
who
një
established
filmi,
the agriculture in the beginning.
ashtu, është Uki dhe Uka. Shumë
The two
interesant.
names.
Po.
Their
Uki,
names were Uki and Uka. The first two
In-
men that established the
pa lidhje
agriculture.
me tonin,
When?
sigurisht.
When? Kukanda?
Në Explorer ka parë, film amerikan, në këta.
I saw it in an Explorer documentary. Uki and Uka.
An American movie.
You can trust everything in movies. Well, this is the 2012, and we only have what we know and can make comparisons to. But to me, this has the same acidity and core strength like you would find in a really good Chenin Blanc. To my, more classically trained palate, but what's so exciting is you now have different reference points. For example, the Pulse we tasted shares characteristic with Gruner Veltliner or something like that. So
I will.
yeah.
Now, this wine is from 2012. It was probably tasted from thousands of people. And the beautiful of this wine that I connected myself. The beautiful is that Peter came here and told me it has a similarity with Chenin Blanc. Recep came here and told me it has a similarity with Sauvignon Blanc. And one other one with Chardonnay.